My name is Amber Reed, R-E-I-D, birthday 12/27/90. I'm turning 32, but like I'm almost positive my like mental age, like my brain is stuck at 17. I'm actually starving, so okay, yes, I troll. Whatever, Trollin has entered the chat. I'm totally fine with a clickbait title because you guys know I love me a clickbait title. You're not paying attention to your health, you don't care about your health, you don't care about your body, you want to die, you could have ate healthy, chose not to, do you really need to go on vacation, you need to buy health insurance instead. I just don't want to hear it.
No one cares!
Hey guys, guten Abend aus Deutschland, good evening from Germany. I recently told you guys if you have videos, because I saw it in the comment section, somebody said I wish Sabine would react to that video. If you have any videos that you would like for me to react to, please just send them to me. Somebody took advantage of that and sent me a link. Unfortunately, it was to a video where somebody in the girl wars just re-uploaded Amber's content, which I don't stand behind at all. Either you reform it, like transform it, or stay away from it. That's where I firmly stand. Just re-uploading is, is I don't know. It's not my style. But anywho, so I was sent the link to this video where there are 3 clips of Amber from the past where she went on a rant against her audience and especially reaction channels. And I would actually like to react to that because some of you guys might not know this. You might come to my channel now and think, oh, so there's another reaction channel. I like what she does. I like her style. I'm going to watch her. What some of you don't know, though, is that I've been doing this since the end of 2018 when Amber Lynn Reed content was incessantly pushed into my recommended video section on YouTube after I had posted a video on my other channel about my own food addiction. All of a sudden there's the 600-pounder ranting and raving about her audience, and I'm thinking, what in the hell is going on? What is wrong with this woman? This is how I ended up reacting to her. I just wanted to know if there's anybody else out there that sees how cray-cray she is. And then I got responses to that, and people told me, I like your no bullshit approach to, when it comes to her content. And eventually I got to a point, I think it was in summer 2020, when she so got on my nerves with her smug attitude, her entitlement, her dishonesty, and her inability to keep food out of her mouth and still talking about weight loss methods all the time just to continue making that money while she was exploiting her own food addiction, and she was exploiting people around her, especially Eric, Ricky, and Becky, and other friends that came to her house. She was vlogging everybody. She was exploiting them for her own gain. And so in front of us, she's sitting in that house where she was only supposed to stay there for a week. I can't find that clip anymore, though. And she ended up staying there, of course, because she's a parasite. She's somebody that can't be responsible for her own life. She needs to ride on the back of others. And so eventually I got to a point where I said, yeah, she just spins in circles and her smugness doesn't go away. There's no self-realization, no self-reflection, nothing. There's no movement, no progress. She just keeps turning in circles. And so I took a break from her for about 1.5 years. People kept asking me, can you react to this though and to that? While I respect that you don't want to, keep tabs on her anymore. Could you give us your take on this and on that? And I did here and there, but I created another channel, which is the one you're watching right now, because I didn't want her for her content to be on my main channel anymore. And so that's how I slipped into doing reactions on a regular basis again. Just to let you guys know that didn't know that, I have been around in the Amberverse. Nothing to be proud of, but there's no change. And just watching this video this evening made me aware of the fact that she still is as smug, as big, as entitled, as dishonest. And so I would actually like to react to this video. I have no idea when this was uploaded. I don't care. And there's different clips. And so I'm just going to react to it.
You're not a binge eater. You're such a liar. You don't plan binges. These are people who don't know their information fully, and I understand that.
She's an idiot. She was an idiot back then. She still is. They do know their information. That is why they, some of them, express their feelings and their perception of what she is doing. For years, she said that she's a binge eater. I don't care. I don't care. I always said she is not. She's just overeating and she can't stop eating. And that's why she, up to this day, she's still this big. And YouTube still condones this kind of behavior by letting her be on this platform and express herself, and by exploiting and monetizing and clickbaiting everything about her food addiction and her inability to control any kind of impulses in her life. And so she's trying to make everybody in the audience sound like they don't know what they're saying. That, of course, is completely incorrect, but she's so caught up in her delulu that she cannot understand.
And by seeing those comments, it's like people start to make me question, who am I as a person? Do I know what I'm talking about? Duh, of course I do, because...
No, you do not. You do not. You did not back then, approximately 2019, maybe 2020, and you do not know what you're doing now, because you still haven't lost any weight, and you still haven't come to any realizations that would help you extend your lifespan. You're just on track to self-destruction, and there's no way of slowing that train down. That's gonna hit the wall.
This is my story. This is my journey, and
Yeah, and she's sharing it on the internet for even impressionable members of the audience to view how she is self-destructing on a public platform, and she's not ashamed of it, not even after over 10 years of eating too much, not moving enough, always making excuses, being entitled, being dishonest, and shoving everybody in front of the camera just to make a quick buck. That is her. It is her story, that is correct. But she doesn't need to put it all on the internet. Only this one here cannot get a job or hold a job, just like Chantal can. And so they run their mouth. That is what they do for a living. They run their mouth. That is it.
I know exactly how it feels to be not in control of your body when you are binging. My binges are painful.
And she's saying this on the internet. And there's nothing she can say after this. Like, she's always exploiting her food addiction, right? There's nothing she can say afterwards to make you seem like, oh, so this was helpful. This was helpful. And this is actually what YouTube meant to do when they changed the terms of services, for people like her not to sit there and bathe in the attention they get for being this big, for not being able to change, but for people to come on the internet, you know, to have a platform to say, look, this is what it feels like when my food addiction grabs me, and I was weak, but now I'm back on track. For people to share their success story and not just their downfall and one failure after another, and being smug about it on top of it. I'm not even saying, you know, if somebody said, okay, so I have a problem with portion control or whatever, and I'm steadily gaining, and I need you guys' help. I need you guys to hold me accountable or whatever. That would be relatable. But this one is nothing but smug and arrogant and condescending, even though she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's been eating herself to over 600 pounds. And according to my last video, possibly even to 700 pounds, and she doesn't stand behind it, because in this whole whirlwind of bullshit that she is serving the internet, She's not even come clean on how much she actually weighs. And she hasn't come clean on so many horrifying things that she did in her life that she documented on her channel.
They are not cute. I I literally have different types of binges. Sometimes my binges are where I will eat until I'm sick.
See, it's almost like she's enjoying this, sharing this with the world like I'm victim Lynn. I have absolutely no control over my life, and I'm sitting here correcting the audience that might just know what they're talking about.
And I'll still keep eating. There are times where I binge where for some reason I can't get full. That
You can never get full, and it's been like this for years because you have nothing else going on in your life. And even if I had felt sorry for you at the time, I no longer do, because this is like 5, 6 years later, maybe 4 or 5 years later, and she still hasn't changed anything. Still the same TED Talks, still the same. I'm not doing anything with my life except for riding on you guys' backs, to get myself more food, and get bigger.
fullness will not happen, and I just keep eating and eating and eating and eating.
Look how self-important she is when she says these things. I mean, it's great that she admits to doing these things, which she's no longer doing, even though we see that she's not losing any weight. But the self-important part about her just rubs me the wrong way, because she is not humble, not one, she doesn't have one ounce of humility in her. And she is riding this pony on the internet, getting fatter and fatter, not doing anything about any of her ailments, not about her high blood pressure, not about her sleep apnea, not about the lymphedema, who cares? She does not get help for them. All she does is sit on the internet and complain about those ailments, and rant about her audience just like Chantal does.
Until I try to reach that. And when I binge, I know the difference between binging versus overeating because I'm a food addict.
Yeah, you did not at the time, and you do not now in 2024, because at some point in time it seemed convenient to you, or it seemed to fit your narrative more, that you all of a sudden say, yeah, I don't have binge eating disorder. I just don't. But here she's all smug about it. And so imagine yourself listening to her latest vlog, and then 5 years later she's still saying the same shit, even though it's still wrong. And she doesn't learn. She doesn't learn from it.
Or binging versus I'm eating in large quantities because I'm a food addict. Because when I binge, I eat faster, I get sick, I am not there, and I'm not thinking clearly.
Okay, she still needs to, I still maintain that, and I said it at the time. She still needs to look up what binge eating disorder is. She is a food addict, and she does overeat, and she has absolutely no self-control. That much is true.
Those are my binges. Afterwards, I feel guilt.
If you've been there to see it live, like when she posted her mukbangs, she's always eating too fast. She's always eating too much, just like Chantal. And they call that I love having dinner with you guys. No, no, no. What you love is not working, not putting any kind of effort into life, and that is why you're sitting your fat ass down in front of a camera and you are eating. And you're eating too fast, and you're eating too much, and you're eating unhealthy foods that you have no more business eating at that weight. And look how smug she still looks. There's no remorse, shame, or guilt, because even in 2024, she's not shoving the amounts of food in her mouth anymore that she used to. We got her out of that because her channel went from making over $10,000 a month down to $3,000 a month, and before tax, that is. And so she had to learn the hard way, and that is in the financial aspect of things, that she cannot be shoving food in her mouth anymore for a living. And so, yeah, but to hear her talk about that shit that she said years ago that was incorrect then, and some of it she still repeats up to this day, and it's still incorrect, and she still repeats it because she is just absolutely unable to change to move on from anything.
And it's so much more food versus my overeating aspect.
All bullshit.
And while I'm eating, both of those things feel differently. Binging.
Bullshit. She has no idea what she's talking about. She has no connection to her body, to her feelings. She just stuffs down feelings whenever they come up. That is why she never processes anything. Nothing. That girl goes through life just indulging in her addictions. In 2024 or in 2023, she also added gambling, vaping. The Delta gummies were in 2022 already. She is indulging in anything that comes her way because she has no other way of dealing with life. Because there is no life. She has no more friends. She moved back to Oklahoma City, where 4 of her relatives live, and they don't even want to be seen in vlogs because she has thrown them under the bus over and over again. And so her life has come full circle and she still doesn't get it. Even in the last vlog, she was still holding TED Talks about how people are supposed to act when they're around, when they see her out in the wild. Yeah, as if she gets to have any kind of impact on or influence on what people behave like around her. If they want to take pictures of her from afar, hey.
Versus overeating versus overindulgence. Those are all different because I do all of those things. And
yeah, and you need to shut up about it because you were never able to fix it. You're still not working on yourself. You're still lying about your weight and you're still doing fake weigh-ins. And so all of these videos, guys, I wished I had the time. I would do a compilation, or maybe it would be enough to just send YouTube a link to one of Mr. Snowflake's compilations and just say, guys, can you please look at that girl's channel and see that there's no positive movement, no progress, there's no positive change. She has these empty eyes where she just holds TED Talks and she's bitter about life. It's clear every time she looks into the camera. She's bitter about life and she wants to rant and rave, but who she's actually bitter about and mad and angry at is herself. But why should we listen to that shit?
I will always overeat. I'll forever overeat.
Yeah. You're most likely right about that because here we are 5 years later and you're bigger than you were back then.
What I'm trying to conquer is the binging. And
No, because then a few years later you said you don't have binge eating disorder, and so what you were actually talking about is the fact that you overeat on a daily basis, you don't move enough, you don't drink enough water, and so you didn't work on anything. You were full of shit back then, you're full of shit now.
I'm not doing like breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm just eating what I want. You know what I'm saying? I am super morbidly obese. I should be eating healthier. I should probably be eating less. I don't want any advice. I don't need advice. I don't need doctors. I don't need anything like that. Everything that could be possibly said to me right now is already obvious, so don't waste your breath. I'm never on track and I'm never losing weight. Being my size is not healthy. I'm not on a mattress, I'm on a fucking couch!
And even back then when you were bedridden, she was still getting up and going to the bathroom by herself. So
I wasn't...
There was never not a time where you could not move on your own. Is what
Yeah, I'm not bedridden. Denial, denial, denial. People fail at weight loss because they give in to their cravings and they overindulge and they eat too many calories. Period. That is how you gain weight. You eat too many calories. And it's simple. Say no. It's hard and it's scary and I feel out of control a lot of the time.
Yeah, because you are. Because you have absolutely no self-control. You have no strength to change anything in your life. You're just going down the drain more and more.
And it's just like, it's a mess because the mixture of like being a food addict with it, what I'm grateful for is that there are people I have met from having such a huge audience that are some
huge audience, my ass. That has changed.
similar to me. But there are also people who have completely different stories to me, but we're able to bond through that because we know how each other feels. It's just that feeling of being not in control, and it's terrifying.
Only that most of us out here that might be feeling that way, we deal with it on our own time. You are a cautionary tale, nothing to learn from, no progress seen at all, no changes, nothing. Keeps moving into the wrong direction and tries to make it sound like she knows what she's talking about, and that's how she makes her money. So whoever watches her videos and supports that kind of lifestyle, that's been going on for years. The gluttony, the laziness, the unwillingness to move at all, to lie about moving, and we've all seen it, since let's say that point. Look at how big she is now. She still hasn't gotten a hold of anything in her life.
It is terrifying. Like,
And yet she's not gotten any help, not back then, not now. She's still overeating and she doesn't get any help for anything.
people say you can control it. I don't know what planet you're from. I really truly don't. But sometimes you can't control it.
Or sometimes you can just be so lazy that you don't want to make any positive changes in your life, and that is the category she lives in. That's the personality she has.
Sometimes you cannot control it, and it's not.
And she says this on the internet. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to make it okay that she is a victim and that there are many more victims, which I do not, don't get me wrong. There are victims out there. There are addicts out there. Sometimes you have good times, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you fall off the wagon, There's no doubt about that. But this one here has been lying for years for money. How many alcoholics, how many cocaine addicts, how many fentanyl addicts are on the and all the other substances are on the internet, flaunting, monetizing, exploiting their addiction, and failing day after day, and making their money that way. This needs to stop, because this is not how you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to contribute positive things to society, right? I mean, if she had a success story, then I wouldn't. I would give her the smugness. I would give her the entitlement. But even then, I would have problems doing so. But look at the smugness and the talking down to people, being condescending, being a know-it-all, even though she wasn't, because her lack of success proves her wrong over and over again.
Not because I'm fat. It's not because I love food. Because more than anything, I think I hate food.
Yeah, you need therapy. That was clear back then, and it's still clear now. You need therapy.
More than I love food. This isn't about the taste of food. Duh.
Oh, but we keep doing taste tests on our channels, huh? And we just recently announced, wasn't it this week, that she's gonna do taste tests again, because it's not about the taste, you fucking liar.
A lot of it tastes good, but it's not about that.
Every food that she tastes, she gives a 10 out of 10. Because her taste buds are shot. She can't cook worth a shit. And she overspices everything. She overcooks everything. She has no idea what good food is. And and here we are years later, her still saying the same things, or in this case now, contradicting herself. It's not about the taste, and she hates food. But yet again, in 2024, she wants to do taste tests again. This girl spins in circles like a turd does in the toilet bowl, and the farther she gets down to the end, where she disappears, the faster she spins.
It's so much deeper, and it's so much more than you guys could ever even comprehend.
No, the only person that doesn't comprehend here is you, and you've been telling the same shit on your channel for years now. The same shit, only it's a different year. Same shit. Still trying to make money off running that mouth after overeating or right before overeating again. Her entire life just circles around food, and yet she does not get the professional help that she needs.
Unless you struggle with it. And I know I'll continue to have people say, you don't have a binge eating disorder, you don't binge, you don't this, you don't that, and that's okay.
Yeah, and years later she admitted it because it fit her narrative. She's a liar. She lies for her own advantage just to continue making that YouTube coin. And YouTube is making it possible.
You're not in my room when I do it, and you're not in my head when I do it. You're not.
But we can read you. We could read you back then, we can read you now, and that is the part you do not get.
Not there afterwards when I cry, and you're not there during it when I look like an actual pig.
And then you turn your camera on and tell people how perfect your life is. And then you're glorifying obesity by not admitting what you're admitting now, that your life is actually miserable, and that you do not approve of yourself. You're just sitting there ranting and raving at your audience.
So,
The people that actually pay your fucking bills.
that's that. And I don't want to offend anyone. I'm just
Of course. Keep ranting and being condescending, but then saying she doesn't want to offend anybody.
saying, for me, I feel like a disgusting pig.
Good. I wouldn't call you a disgusting pig, but you calling yourself one is a helpful step in the right direction.
I don't look at other people who binge eat like fat pigs. I look at me like that because I am my own worst enemy.
But you're not doing anything to change things. And again, that by itself, that on its own, is not the problem. The problem here is that that bitch is sitting on the internet, making her money, exploiting and monetizing her food addiction, where nothing changes. No positive changes ever happen. Ever. Not in years. This is almost half a decade later and she's still full of shit.
There are a lot of you can relate to that. It's just like, you could have too big of a nose and you hate yourself for it, but then you look at someone else, they have a big nose, but you don't look at them for their big nose. You look at them and you think they're beautiful.
The TED Talks here, that TED Talks, look at her, the obsessed look on her face right now. A nose is different. You can't do nothing, or, well, actually you can have plastic surgery, but under normal circumstances you can't do anything about the nose that you were given, but you can do something about the food you stuff in your face every single day. So miss me with that comparison.
You know, it's just like, sometimes you can never just be fully happy with who you are, and you're always critiquing yourself, and
you're not critiquing yourself enough because nothing ever changes in your life.
That's a whole other subject for a completely different day, you guys. But I just wanted to explain that more, and I feel like I'm going to forget a lot of what I really truly want to say in this video, but I just wanted to get that out. People need to stop telling me, you have this, you don't have that.
Can you imagine the smugness and the arrogance on that bitch? She is the one that came running to the internet, waving her camera, saying, look what I got. I'm going to share my life with you. And then when it's not convenient, I'm going to say, oh, I was just trolling you guys. Or when it's really inconvenient, like the video she made about Casey, where she accused her of all kinds of things, she went into coward mode and deleted that video. That is one of the few videos that she deleted because she was scared shitless that she would get backlash. And I would have sued her ass. I would have. Casey, if you're listening to this, I would have sued her ass. Somebody needs to teach her a lesson, and ideally it would be the ones that actually have a case against her, and that is Becky and Casey. And so here she is with her smug ass trying to tell people what they can and cannot say to her.
You have this, but you do have that. That's not up for you. That's not up to you.
Yes, it is. The minute you came running with camera in hand, trying to make money on YouTube, exploiting every one of your flaws, always monetizing the physical measurements, and eating yourself to sickness and to these measurements on camera, that is when you invited criticism and for people to give their opinion. honey bun, sweetie pie. That is something you have to live with, because if it hadn't been for you making that YouTube coin, you would have never made a dime in your life. Because we saw how you acted at your actual jobs that were only part-time jobs, where you were being a helper at some care facility, and even then did you exploit the people that lived there and worked there.
You don't have my blood work. You don't see me in real life. You don't know anything.
No, but we've been seeing her looking sickly for years now and not changing anything about her life. Growing and growing in size, and the ailment list getting longer and longer, but she doesn't change anything.
I do what I ate today videos, and people always call me a liar. They say, this is not what you eat. I want to see the truth. I want to see what you eat.
Look at the smugness. I want to smack the smugness off her face.
You didn't get to be almost 600 pounds with just eating that. You didn't get to be 500 pounds with just eating that. People are constantly calling me a liar when I
Yeah, because she is, and we've proven her to be a liar for years.
do what I eat today videos. I have never, hands down, lied in a what I ate today video.
Bullshit.
I have no reason to whatsoever.
Yes, because you are actually deep down inside somewhere ashamed of what you do, and so you're still trying to manipulate the narrative, and it doesn't work because your lack of success proves you wrong over and over again. So what you're trying to tell us is never right, and we can tell later on. Some of us can, I'm one of them, some of us can tell right away when she's full of shit again. Others, it takes a few years, and then they go back and go, oh my gosh, maybe she was lying at the time. Yeah, she is just lying nonstop. She was back then, and she is now.
I will admit that I do choose days to do those videos where I am eating less, because overeating and overindulgence, it is pretty embarrassing. But binging,
But then again, we can sit our 600-pound asses in front of the camera and shovel all that food in and promise the audience it's gonna be okay. Don't even come for me. You know, because all they ever want, her and Chantal, is just stuff their faces until they croak, just like Life by Jen did. She wasn't as smug and as arrogant as Chantal and Amber are, but same train tracks. Same train tracks.
is a whole other level. But people are constantly telling me, why don't you film a what I ate today video when you are having a binge day? Or
I never cared about her what I ate today videos, because there's absolutely no way that she only ate this little and kept growing in size.
a binge night. I almost feel like I've been manipulated into it, because I get a lot of people saying it could be good for education reasons, you could help other people.
Yeah, but only if once in a while you have some successes which you do not. And so all you ever do on your channel is flaunt your food addiction, your inability to keep food out of your mouth, and you are so smug and arrogant and entitled that you think that the human community should pay for your bills. And that is not the fact.
Well, you might be able to bond with your audience more and things like that. And
She hasn't bonded with her audience in, I don't know, 9, almost 10 years. And at the time she had so few subscribers that I don't think she ever understood that there are real people watching. What we are to her is just a number on her bank account, you know, that shows up. You know, it's not like she can accept the fact that we are real people with intelligence that might be a smidgen higher than hers, and that we understand things that she still cannot grasp, and probably never will before she croaks.
it really got to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to film everything that I eat during a binge day, because that is
And shaking her head, of course, because she was lying at the time.
what people request of me, because I am constantly being called a liar every single time I upload a what I ate today video.
Not just then, even when you vlog, you lie all the time.
So I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's do, a different version of what I ate today. The comments are disgusting.
Maybe because you're a disgusting human being.
People are still calling me a liar
Because you still are. I mean, you were back then, you still are today.
about what I ate during a binge day.
Can you imagine that she would ever sit on her pillow mountain and be sad about her life and think, I gotta change something. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to get the backlash anymore. I actually gotta change things so that maybe the reactions to my vlogs change. Nope, not this one. Keeps going with the same bullshit nonsense content and trying to weasel her way through life.
That's crazy. What would be the point in me showing that if I didn't show everything I truly ate?
Because you are a manipulator and a liar and you couldn't tell the truth if your life depended on it? Just a thought.
There would be no point.
Absolutely, and you lie about things that actually get you no benefits. So you must be an adrenaline junkie on top of everything else, like the food addiction and the gambling addiction and the alcohol addiction and the THC addiction. Who knows? You're all kinds of fucked up in the head and you just don't get any professional help. And so here we are 5 years later, still listening to the same bullshit, even same hairdo.
There's no productivity in it. It's just,
Oh wait, this is a high pony and now she's wearing the Shih Tzu hairdo.
I'd be lying to my audience about something that is so serious to me. I can't comprehend at all.
Yeah, but keep shaking her head and checking herself out in the viewfinder. Not as badly as she does it nowadays. I'm not sure why, because with as often as she's checked herself out in the viewfinder, over the years she could have seen a progression, but her delusion makes it impossible.
I know that I'm gaining weight. I actively see it in my face when I'm editing, and it kind of shocks me. I swear it's almost like people want me to be lying.
No, actually not. It would be, I'm only speaking for myself here. It would be a lot nicer if I could, if I saw that she was turning into an authentic person, like she had some kind of realization that maybe she can't continue being the bitch that she is, and she should start being authentic. Maybe some of her viewers would come back, because I believe that she is now completely through the entirety of people on the planet, on the internet, that would be interested in watching this kind of bullshit content. And so she needs to change in order for people to come back. Otherwise her YouTube channel is going to disappear into oblivion. And so if she ever changed, and if she was a little more authentic and there were changes to be detected, I would most likely say, okay, so now she's for real and now she doesn't need to be called out on her lies nonstop anymore, and I would move away from her, which is probably why she keeps stirring the pot, because maybe others have I've heard reaction channels give different reasons. Some even flat out admit that they just do it for the money. They see that aspect of it. But others say, I'm here for the humor in it all. Where's the humor? Yeah, they're all lol cows, but you can only make fun of people turning in circles for a certain amount of time before it gets boring. And I'm hitting the same wall. She's been telling the same lies, the same bullshit, the same TED Talks for years. And so I don't know what we're doing here. She's not changing at all.
Just so they have more stuff to talk about. The people.
Yeah, because our lives out here are so empty that we need your content to make our lives interesting. Damn.
Who believe my video, there are a lot of you who are just like, this is so disgusting. This is pathetic. I can't believe you're like this.
Mm-hmm.
You do not say that to people with an eating disorder.
Yes, you do, because most of the people with an eating disorder on the internet, or let's say on this planet, don't shove a camera in their own faces and eat on camera and try to hold TED Talks about an eating disorder that they have absolutely no grasp on. You know what I'm saying? You're one of the few that's trying to make money on the internet by exploiting and monetizing her food addiction.
Eating disorders are not chosen. You don't wake up one day and choose to binge, to have that urge, choose to have an eating disorder and have it ruin your life.
Yeah, but you're trying to monetize it and that makes you a bitch, and you should not be able to do this. You should be in your apartment crying into your pillows with the camera off. You should be trying to make sense of what your life has become and then change it. But you keep turning that camera on and hitting us with that mental diarrhea year after year, and nothing ever changes.
And that goes on both spectrums. And I don't know.
Sides of the spectrum, you idiot. You'd think her IQ would have increased a little bit. Imagine you have all day long sitting on your shelf ass, nothing better to do than maybe to study things. She could be so intelligent by now, but no. Her IQ keeps dropping and dropping.
Know anything about the other side of it, but on my side and what I have dealt with for a lot of my life, this is not something I chose. The words being thrown at me saying I am pathetic and
yeah, she is pathetic because what she does is she is milking her disorders instead of getting help, professional help, and if she listened to me, it would be inpatient care. And at the time, when she was being this smug, she could still afford it. Because as we see her sitting in front of us in maybe 2019, 2020, she still made over $10,000 a month with this mental diarrhea. So she could have afforded the professional help. She could have afforded her own mobility scooter. And nope, she doesn't own a car. She doesn't own anything. You know, she wasted all of her money on food and on buying people's time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent time with her. And same smugness, different year. Just watch her latest vlog.
disgusting and all of these horrible things. You guys really need to look in the mirror.
You have no idea what you are talking about. You need to reflect upon yourself. And when people out here criticize you, it's because you've been riding that YouTube pony for way too long, lying your ass off, eating off camera while saying you're on track, faking weigh-ins, and it's enough of that already. There's gotta come a point in your life where you say, I'm a shit for having done this for years, and I would like to live a respectable life from now on. I mean, me personally, I think it's too late for her, and she doesn't have the intelligence or any other marketable skills to even get a job out here. But hey, maybe she can find some other content, like putting Legos together, putting the camera on her chubby fingers and telling tales from her interesting life, but this is no longer working.
You ask for these types of videos, I give them to you, and you are disgusting towards me.
And what she didn't get at the time, and she still doesn't get it now, is that there are people trolling her. She always calls herself the trolling queen, and she loves trolling. And she doesn't get that people in the audience troll her, and so she puts them all in one pot. And she says that people request certain things, and then these people are going against what she actually posts when she listens to those requests. She doesn't get that we're like a whole bunch of people out here, and that it's not the same person doing that. So she's talking about her audience as if it's one big mass,
It's not right. And I think what messes with me the most is that this is just such a toxic community.
It's only because you are at the center of it, you and Chantal, and you are despicable human beings, horrid human beings with no backbone, with no moral ethics, no moral compass, just weaseling your way through life, smearing that makeup on, using those beauty filters because you can no longer even identify with what you look like. At the time she couldn't. We saw her the way she was, And look how old she looked at the time. Now she's 5 years older.
This community is so toxic.
Yeah, it's because of her.
And I did not create that for myself.
Yes, she did. By the time, or let's say the moment she said, I'm going to lie about Casey, I'm going to lie about my past relationship, I'm going to be victim Lynn, people are going to come flocking to my channel because of that. They're going to feel sorry for me. Every time she made the decision to lie about something, to exaggerate something, or to show her physical measurements, that's when she invited disrespect, because the horrid personality was always there. You can go all the way back to the beginning. It was always there. You know, beginning filming Crystal when she clearly said she doesn't want to be on camera. She is just a fucked up human being.
A lot of people think I did.
Yes, she did. She did create this community of toxicity. But there are certain branches of the community where there are people that are nice to each other. Like my comment section is one of them. You know, so a lot of really nice people flock together, only not on her channel, because she attracts negativity by being a very bitter and dishonest and lazy and gluttonous person.
But I didn't.
And you did.
Is the reaction channels.
Nope. You can try to push the blame onto other people all you want. That still doesn't make it true. You are the queen of toxicity. You are the queen of dishonesty. You have no idea what you're talking about. You are all hot air and no substance. And yeah.
There is a couple in particular. There's a main one that we all know who it is. Who
I wish Michael B. Petty would come back.
Is disgusting. Right along with the trolls and the haters.
And she's a troll herself, and she's been trolling her audience for a decade now.
For anyone to think it's okay to literally react to someone, am nowhere near as bad as the people who are part of Hater Nation.
No, you're the queen of Hater Nation. You are, I don't know, a person that is so punchable.
And Kiwi Farms and reaction channels that call people, you know, sodium whales and saying things about cheese curds. It's not cute.
I don't know who did that, and I don't know why she kept spilling that diarrhea onto the entirety of her audience. At the time, she had a big audience, you know. And so I not at the time and not now, do I have any kind of idea who uses these phrases? I never heard them before. I know it wasn't Zach, and it wasn't Michael B. Petty. I don't know if he ever said sodium whale. I don't know, but I don't know who she's talking about now. And the one I'm thinking of that might have said it, that it sounds almost like, I don't want to mention here because she is not worth it.
It's not cute. It's not funny. People enjoy it because it's drama.
Says the queen of trolling, that calls herself the queen of trolling. She is literally the troll queen, and she is trying to elicit negative emotions in the audience, and then she wonders why there's toxicity. I mean, that alone is a level of detachment from reality that is mind-boggling.
People enjoy making fun of my disorder because I'm Amberlynn Reed, and no matter what I go through, it's a joke and it's funny and it's...
No, it's because you are monetizing it and you're never changing anything, and you're lying about taking action steps towards getting help and improving, and then you never do, and then you wonder why people try to hold you accountable. You're a pig. You are a pig without any moral compass.
It's a lie. I have had this whole story and narrative created by strangers, where once I turn off the camera, I have all these people in my life who think completely different.
No, they do not, and they all cut the contact with you because eventually they realize it's not worth the money you're throwing at them, and them being able to sleep at night is more important. They're all gone, Amber. The smugness and the arrogance in that moment bit you in the ass because now you're sitting, your shelf butt down in Oklahoma City, waiting for mommy to come over and take you places. Because you are a horror of a human being and nobody wants to be with you. Change your ways. Maybe some people will come back or you will meet some new people. Don't tell them that you're a YouTuber, but you gotta tell everyone. And so that's why people drop you like a hot potato, because you're proud of your YouTube channel. That is something I never got.
Than these strangers online, which thank God, because the people in my life love me, care about me.
No, and she's shaking her head because she knows she's telling a lie here. She actually has to tell a lie in order to say on her channel that there are people in real life that love her and accept her the way she is, and know that she is different from the persona that is on the internet. That is just sad.
And they know that I'm a good person.
No, they know you're a bad person and that's why they dropped your ass.
And I'm fun to be around.
No, you're not. When you were throwing money at people, when you were still making over to a 10K a month, you were bearable, I guess, to them. And then when your income dropped, they all dropped off because your personality is just horrific.
And they have to constantly remind me, you need to ignore the people online because
Yeah, because the people online are not the ones that pay your bills. How can you sit there, be dependent on the money that you get paid for people watching your content, and say people in your real life, which they probably never did, told you to just ignore people online? Then get off the fucking internet, get a life, do something with your life for once. You're 33 years old, you haven't accomplished anything. You barely speak one language. You have no college degree. Your body is, oh my gosh, I mean, asymmetrical is an understatement. There are bulges coming out everywhere. And still, she's running her mouth instead of changing things in her life.
they don't know the real you. But it's just crazy that there is a whole different life and a different person that you guys don't know.
They all dropped your ass, Amber. This did not age well at all. They dropped your ass. Eric, Ricky, Becky, or Beck, Hannah, Rafe, everybody. Look at your past. They all dropped your ass because your income dropped. And so as long as you could still throw money at them, I guess it was bearable. It was okay. But look at you now.
It's almost because a big portion of you won't let yourself get to know the real me.
Because you are trolling on your channel and there is no movement. What is there to get to know about you? You still look the same way or bigger. You still talk the same shit. You all talk, no action. What's there to get to know? Have you stopped lying? Not until this week in 2024. So, you've made yourself uninteresting and unbelievable, and you've discredited yourself and ruined your reputation for the quick buck on YouTube.
Because it's so fun to be part of this like mob of just disgustingness. And I keep using the word disgusting because it is repulsive. It is
Disgusting and repulsive is actually to have a body odor that you try to overpower with not, let's say, crazy thought, taking showers, but overpower by spraying perfume on your ass and, not being able to wipe anymore, but still not finding the necessity to lose any weight and rather buy, boxes and boxes of wax melts. That is disgusting. And that is you.
actually disgusting. That is literally the word for it. And this goes beyond even just my
See how smug. has nothing to back up what she's saying, lies her ass off about people in her real life, and has not changed since.
My disorder. It's like I posted a Snapchat rant that people expect an apology for, and I'm not going to give it because
No, because you are that kind of a pig without a moral compass and without any backbone, and so I never expected one. That was during, I see that mustard yellow wall behind her, and that was the time when she called her audience psychos. That was number one. When she was talking about BetterHelp and being diagnosed by BetterHelp with binge eating disorder, which was, another highlight. She did all the mukbangs where she ate copious amounts of food like an animal. And what was another one? Oh, or her all of a sudden announcing that she's no longer sharing her weight loss journey anymore
but the obsession is real and y'all need to chill out.
because there was none. She kept stuffing face. That's all she did. That's all she does now. Let's look at the picture again of that surfaced this week. She's possibly the same size there.
Because that was for Hater Nation and the trolls and the people who say cruel, disgusting things in the comments.
And that's how you keep perpetuating the problem. If you never turn into a decent human being, you're going to keep getting these reactions. And you'd think after about a decade you'd get the point, but not this one here with the IQ of 135 to 145.
If you guys haven't done that, then that was not for you. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you for not being such a horrible person like these other people. That is why it doesn't deserve an apology.
Barf. I'm done with her. I'm I'm out of time. And so, yeah, just wanted to share this little reaction with you. But again, I do not appreciate or I do not stand behind people just re-uploading her content. No matter how old it is, a little bit of a commentary would be nice because that would put it in the category of being, under the Fair Use Act. But hey, this is just me. And so, yeah, this is all I got time for today. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.